God is, and Rainier Avenue Radio World have a new address. We're now located at 4916 Rainier Avenue South in Columbia City, 98118. God is still loving on your community, being a blessing and meeting the needs of the people. Don't miss any of our amazing shows. Your favorite community radio station. Tune in and come on down and get some free food and let us continue to love on you. Don't forget to tune in. See you soon for free food and free entertainment with God Is and Rainier Avenue Radio .world.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Juan Cotto touching bases with you from Rainier Avenue, literally Rainier Avenue, a couple of blocks from the headquarters of Rainier Avenue Radio, the historic Columbia City Theater. We are just a couple of blocks away down here at Rainier Avenue and Alaska, where the Rainier Beach Vikings are taking on the Ballard Beavers. And a pitch is swung on by Adam Tripp, who is the leadoff hitter for Ballard. The count is now, I believe, 3 balls and 2 strikes. We are just underway and getting started. Tripp is the leadoff hitter, and it is once again so awesome. I can't believe we haven't called baseball in a couple of years, ladies and gentlemen. Tripp fouls that pitch off a fastball. He clicks that one off, and it goes into the netting of the batting cage located behind us. Good afternoon, everyone. I just cruised up here from Olympia, Washington, changed my clothes, brushed my teeth, and I came out to the ballpark. And I am more than excited to be here. Baseball spring is slowly starting to get here. A little chilly day here on Rainier Avenue at Rainier Playfield. As a pitch is a strike, it's dropped by the catcher, and he did not tag Tripp. Flips the ball down the first base, and that extinguishes that for the first out of the inning. So we will get the Rainier Beach lineup. We have Tripp striking out in the first inning, and what a nice pitch that was by that kid. Just threw one right down the middle, and it kind of froze Tripp, and just forgot to hustle down as he was thinking about that pitch. He started going back to the dugout, then went down the line. Ballard in their black jerseys with the red trimming. Ballard red spelled right across the front, and a little number in the front that's in red, trimmed in white, as the first pitch comes across, and it's a check swing, and this is Max, I can't think of his name, Max Kickelson, I believe, and I'll get that name for you in just a second. The Ballard Beavers coming in today, facing Rainier Beach. Here comes the next pitch. It's swung and fouled off, and a little bit more healthy cut by Max as the umpire yells for baseballs down here on Rainier Avenue. So great to be here today. And let me get this kid's name for you. This is Max Finkelstein. He's wearing the number 1. Finkelstein is the shortstop for Ballard. He's about 5'8" and about 145 pounds. He needs to come over to my house and fatten up a little bit, as the next pitch is more of a slider breaking pitch that went away from the catcher and got outside. That makes a count, I believe, 1 ball and 2 strikes on Finkelstein. Finkelstein wearing black shoes. They've got the Chicago Bears type of stirrups. I've always liked those of black and red, multi-striped. The next pitch is low outside, went all the way to the backstop and bounced back. We have a City of Seattle backstop is what I call this. So the backstop is around, I would say, 15 to 18 feet behind the home plate itself. So the ball has got a mat on it, a green mat, and the ball bounces off of that. So that'll help the catcher, no doubt. As Finkelstein pops off the next pitch, being a veteran of inner city baseball, Seattle baseball, I parked my car well up the street because your car can get dinged by foul balls. No matter where it seems you park. There's cars that go up Alaska Street, which is to the south. Here comes the next pitch. And it's a line drive over the first baseman's head into right field. That will be a base hit. Max Finkelstein hits a shot out to right field, and that will be the first base runner of the game for Ballard. Finkelstein singles in his first at bat. So he gets a single, and that's going to bring up Truett Madonna. If you like baseball names, and I do, Truett Madonna. And I don't know if there's any relation to the rock singer, but I'm sure that he probably takes a little bit of ribbing of that if the kids remember who she is. the check of the runner at first, Finkelstein. He's got a small lead, not really a threat to go anywhere right now. It was a pitch right down the middle, and Madonna pops this one up to center field. The Rainier Beach center fielder's under it. It hits him in the glove, and he drops it. Bounce right out of his glove, and there goes Finkelstein over to third base, and Truett Madonna jogs into second, and that will be an E4. And they're a little frustrated out there, and trust me, when I get the names of the players, I might even go talk to them after the game. I understand how that works, my brother. Sometimes the eyes don't connect, and man, you miss one, and that's okay. Rainier Beach and Coach Matt Fields trying to get this program established, and they're coming out here. And that's the thing I love about inner city baseball like this, is that these kids, they deserve an opportunity to play this great game. I think it's such a unique challenge. You just have to overcome your mistakes sometimes, and you learn so much from it as the first pitch comes in right across the letters of Grady Shiotani. Grady Shiotani, number 22 for Ballard, and he is their first baseman, and he is in the traditional cleanup position, which really means nothing in today's baseball, but let's see if he can drive in some runs. Next pitch is high. It is off the backboard. Great job by the pitcher to come back that up. That pitch hit the backboard, high velocity, came off the backboard and rolled back and past the catcher, and he was able to track that ball down. And I believe that makes the count 1-1 strike. The Vikings, a vaunted powerhouse. It's the next pitch, and Shiotani swings through that fastball, and that makes the count 1-2 strikes. The Vikings, of course, a South End power in so many different sports, basketball most notably, but also football. They've had tremendous talent in girls basketball. We all know so many of the names that have gone on and started colleges and universities throughout the area as the signals are given. And here comes the pitch. High, and it pops out of the glove, a swing and a miss. The first baseman, the Grady Shiotani, he strikes out, but on the drop third strike, he advances to first base. The catcher just did not want to throw the ball down there. Was afraid that the run that is right now in the form of Max Finkelstein. Finkelstein was kind of jogging with him, and he decided not to throw the ball. So that's going to bring up Dylan Wallbloom. Wallbloom comes to the plate, and he now has the bases jacked. And here comes the first pitch. Shoo, boy, that's a nice pitch on the outside part of the plate. And Wallbloom took a cut at it. Yes, strike one, but an aggressive cut by Wallbloom. We are at Rainier Playfield. Those who know it know it's right here in central Rainier Valley. Here's the next pitch. And that's a kind of a pop-up to right field. Will it drop in? Will it drop in? It is a fair ball. A fair ball drops in, and the runners are coming. Here comes Finkelstein. Here comes Madonna. They both score. The catcher, Shiotani, goes all the way to third base. And just like that, on a kind of a bloop hit by Dylan Wallbloom, they're going to give him a single on that. It is a 2-0 Ballard. Bloop single by Dylan Wallbloom. Here comes Max Seaver to the plate. Seaver, he's a right-handed hitter, and he is swinging a nice-looking blue bat. That is a meta. He's swinging a blue meta. And he also, Mr. Seaver, is the right fielder. And he's got one of those little black hoodies underneath it. It looks like it's kind of extending out of his jersey. So he's real focused here. He pops the first pitch up, and it's going to go into the netting right behind us. If you haven't been to this field, and I'm surprised that you haven't, it is one of the historic fields here. It's a part of the Olmsted Park legacy, as many of you probably know, and it also has an Ezell's right down the street. I'm probably going to stop by there after the ball game. Here comes a pitch right down the middle, but maybe just a little bit low as the ball gets kind of bobbled around. The runner over there at first base, Wallbloom, he went to second, and the throw from the catcher was just a little bit low in the dirt, and in that exchange, Shiotani came in and scored the third run of the inning. So right now it is Ballard a 3. The Vikings haven't even come to bat yet. Seaver waving the blue meta. He's wearing black New Balance shoes as a Rainier Beach's pitcher does a 180-degree turn, tries to get the runners back. Rainier Beach in their classic blue and orange uniforms. This is just a perfect day for high school baseball. Hope you get out and catch a game or two in your neighborhood this year as the ball is laced into the gap in left field. That's certainly going to score. Wallbloom, Seaver heading over to second base, and the ball is up. It gets into the infield, and Max Seaver doubles, and that makes the score Ballard 4, the Vikings 0. 4-0 on your community radio station, Rainier Avenue Radio.world. Juan Cotto touching bases with you live from Rainier Avenue and Alaska Street, right across the street from the funeral home, and there's a theater right across the street here. It's like South Seattle Community Theater, I believe the name of it. As the first pitch comes in to number 6, this is Aiden DePala. He wears number 10. He is the center fielder, and he just fouled. He took a very, very, very aggressive cut and fouled that pitch off. Seaver at second base after the double. 4-0 Ballard. Here comes DePaula. He's swinging a black and gold. And that pitch, he's a right-handed hitter, and the pitch just got inside and skimmed him. He gets hit by a pitch. So he's going to go to first base, and this is going to bring in another. There's some great names on this Ballard team. I like this one. I believe this is a gentleman by the name of Colton Good. Coulter Good. And that's spelled G-O-O-D, wearing the number 9. Here's a pitch, and he hits a ball out to right field, and it looks like that is going to it went over the right fielder's head, so that means everybody's running. Here comes Seaver. It looks like he is going to score. Here comes DePaula. He is going to score. So Colton Good, we're going to call that a double. Just got over the right fielder's head. And now Ballard is up in the ball game. That will make the score 6-0. The Ballard Beavers up on the Rainier Beach Vikings. Here comes Chase Herman now. Chase Herman is the 9th player to come to the plate. 1 out in the inning, in case you're wondering. Chase Herman is wearing the number 5. White shoes for Herman as the pitch goes off the catcher's glove, and Coulter Good, Mr. Good advances to third base. So we have 6 runs in, 1 out in the inning. The number 9 hitter at the plate, Coulter Good. Good looking out on the mound, and now the pitcher is going to go ahead and work from the stretch. I'm sorry, from the full wind. Here comes the pitch. That looked like a slider, and yes, that broke into the plate. Just got out of the catcher's glove, and he'll go pick that ball up. Jog back to the top of that mound. Juan Cotto touching bases with you. You are on our community radio station, Rainier Avenue Radio.world. We love all of you, no matter where you're listening from. As a pitch goes out to the second baseman, bounces off his glove, throws over there in the dirt, and the first baseman comes off the bag. Chase Herman gets on base. We're going to call that an E4 on the second baseman. But Coulter Good, taking advantage of that base running, will score. So that is the 7th run of the inning, and that will bring up the leadoff hitter, Adam Tripp. Adam, once again, he struck out to lead off the game, and I'm sure he's probably a little frustrated about that, wearing the number 2. He's got a big, bright red 2 trimmed in white on his back. Beautiful black uniforms by Ballard. Looks over. The Rainier Beach Vikings resemble the 1980s New York Mets as the pitch is a little bit high. Ball 1. 1 ball is the count to Tripp. Tripp stands in the right-handed batter's box. Taps the plate with his bat. He's using the goods. Kind of winds that good around. Average size lead there by Herman at first base. Here comes the next pitch. It is a rope into left field. So they're going to try to go ahead and extend that. Here comes the throw as Herman was trying to run. And on the throw, Tripp goes to second. So we're going to call that a single, and then an advance on the throw for Tripp. So he gets his second at bat of the inning, and Herman goes to third base on that one. So we have now runners at second and third with one out, and Tripp made up for the out that he made earlier. Here comes Mr. Finkelstein again, Max Finkelstein. He singled in his first at bat, scored the first run of the inning, and that was right about 8 minutes ago. A jam shot that gets past the pitcher. His bat goes flying into the Ballard hitting area, and on that, the throw to the ball just got past the pitcher. The shortstop tried to make the play and couldn't, and Herman scores. Tripp advances to third, and we have to give Max Finkelstein a horseshoe single on that. He kind of got a jam shot. And I know that stung his hands. If he's honest with me and I talk to him, he's probably going to tell me that stung a little bit. Here's Rainier Beach. Here they are talking on the top of the mound. And they're getting some information from their coach, Matt Fields. Matt Fields was a star at Rainier Beach in basketball and in baseball. He enjoyed a minor league career. Outstanding baseball player for Rainier Beach, and certainly a part of the lore down there. I believe he's on a state championship basketball team, if I'm not mistaken. Would have loved to talk to him more, and I have followed his career for a long time. Very, very talented young man. Was hired by the Seattle Fire Department, but had to resign from that position so he could come out here and coach and make a difference in this community. Right here is the next pitch to number 15, Mr. Madonna. Mr. Madonna reached base on an error last time, scored the second run of the game, as you may recall. Here comes Madonna. He is 0 for 1 with an error, but he has scored a run. Here he is looking at the Rainier Beach pitcher. Pitch high in the strike zone, and it's a rock at the center field. This time the center fielder catches it, and he got him. So Madonna flies out F8, but he will get the RBI as Mr. Tripp came in to score, and that's going to make the score 9 for Ballard. And Rainier Beach has not come to bat yet. And this brings up Grady Shiotani again. He was the young man that got hit by a pitch, I believe. He got hit by the pitch last at bat as this pitch comes in, and it is a strike right at the knees. 0 balls and 1 strike to count. He scored the third run of the ball game just about 10 minutes ago, I believe it was. Daniel Bellis, you better know him as the man from the Fresh Juice, is with me today. As the next pitch is a little bit, it caught the corner, strike 2. And this young man from Rainier Beach, Daniel, he's done a nice job pitching, and he has got to keep his wits about him as the left-handed hitting Grady Shiotani comes up here, wearing the number 22 on his back, gets a signal, checks the runner at first, small lead, relatively small. Here comes the pitch. A little bit of a slider, and it gets away from the catcher, and that will advance Finkelstein over to a second. Grady Shiotani hit by a pitch last time. Actually, I wasn't hit by a pitch. I think it might have been was that the drop third strike? It was the drop third strike that got him on. Struck out, but got on with it. He was the drop third strike man. Here comes the next pitch. A little bit low. Ball 2. 2 balls and 1 strike on the hitter, Grady Shiotani. Beautiful day today. I thought it was going to be a little bit chilly. Actually, I thought it was going to rain. I was thinking we were going to rain out, but I am here at the ballpark. No place I'd rather be. A little tiny bit chilly, but because we're not right on the lake, we're not getting the winds as the next pitch pops out of the catcher's glove. A little bit outside, maybe a little bit high, and that brings a count to 3 balls and 2 strikes. 3-2 on the catcher, Grady Shiotani. Rainier Beach Vikings, the Ballard Beavers. There's Alaska Airlines plane flying just west of us, and they're probably cheating, looking on the ball field as the game's going on. The next pitch is just a little bit high that bounces off the backstop, and the runner will advance down to first base. That's Grady Shiotani. And so we have now a runner on first base after the base on balls, and that will bring up Mr. Dylan Walbung. Wallbloom singled last time and drove in a run. Going ahead, wearing the number 12 on his black jersey. Wearing the white pants today are Ballard. They're a New Balance squad. All their stuff is sponsored by the Big NB. As a pitch hits the dirt and bounces away, the runners look like they're both going to advance. That goes Finkelstein down to third. I'm sorry, was that Finkelstein? Yes, it was Finkelstein down to third, and that was Shiatani down to second. There's 2 outs in the inning. Truett Madonna flied out. As the next pitch comes in, it's a little bit kind of a inside pitch, and that kind of scared Wallbloom a little bit. He kind of danced around a little bit. 2 outs in the inning. Dylan, wearing the number 12, would like to add to the lead if he could. He pops that pitch up. Defensive swing, completely defensive from Wallbloom. And that makes the count, I believe, 0-2. Matt Fields coming back home to the Vikings, coaching the baseball program that he starred in and has cultivated a lot of this goodwill for Rainier Beach in baseball. And he'll get this. If anybody can do it, it's him. Here comes a pitch, fastball, and it goes right to third base. Throw across the diamond, and it is the third out of the inning. So just after that, and let's give Rainier Beach credit. They are able to do this. That was Wallbloom grounding out to the third baseman. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 runs for the Ballard Beavers. And they take the lead in the first inning. And let's see what Rainier Beach has. And, if you love baseball, I just love seeing kids that want to fight back. So we'll see if the Vikings can come in here and kind of clean up this in the next couple of innings. And I'm sure that the coach of Ballard, who I spoke to his dad, Doug Montgomery, will probably work to give these kids an opportunity to stay in the ball game just a little bit. He'll probably bring in some of his backup players at some point, get those kids some playing time. But I want to see what the Rainier Beach Vikings can do, hoping they can come out and fight. And if you have followed the Rainier Beach athletic program, they're going to come out and play. So Daniel, another great day and another great season of baseball on our community radio station, Rainier Avenue Radio.world.
That's what it is, Juan. That's definitely what it is. And man, rough start for the Vikings for sure. Obviously, they come into this game last in the league with the opening 2 losses of the first of the season. And Ballard, actually they've struggled as well. They've only started this season 1-5 and 0-2 in league. So both of them really not getting off the jump. But Ballard, I think, really needed that first inning for sure. That probably brought a lot of confidence for their season.
It is, and it looks like Ballard, obviously, they have a little bit of an idea. Here comes their pitcher. The pitcher is number 9. Oh, and as Daniel, you put up the statistics. Go ahead. Let's go ahead and take a look at the standings here.
Back up.
Yeah, please.
Yeah.
This is to see that these schools in the public school baseball standings, these kids are getting off to a good start. And actually, amazingly enough, Chief Self the other night beat O'Day. So some of these schools that have more developed select programs in their area.
That is a big surprise because if we look at these private schools, O'Day is in the cellar right now with the private schools.
They are.
They have started the season 0-3.
And take my word for it, I don't think anybody's sweating about it over there. I know they feel that
they are playing an undefeated West Seattle team today.
That'll be interesting to see if the West Seattle Wildcats can go ahead and get some of this. And here comes the Rainier Beach Vikings. And unfortunately, I don't have a lineup. I don't know who this young man is, but I do like his helmet. And I do like the way that he has everything kind of tucked in under there. As the next pitch goes over his head, and this is one of the advantages that I had being short, is that I didn't have to duck down for the strikes, and it's having a hard time with this Ballard pitcher here. He finally lobs one in for strike 1. 1 strike on the hitter for Rainier Beach. Next pitch is kind of a lob pitch. He's almost having to throw an eephus pitch. This young pitcher, number 9 for, and this is Good. This is Coulter Good. He's almost doing an eephus as that pitch catches it. That was more of he might have thrown a little bit of a breaking pitch on that. Might have thrown a little bit of a breaking pitch. Here comes that pitch is good. Here we go. So the pitch is outside for ball 4. So we go ahead and take your base, Rainier Beach base runner, and this brings up the hitter now, number 3. Number 3 with orange shoes and Adidas, and a lot of Adidas on this Rainier Beach program, and a connection with so many of the different uniform companies that Rainier Beach has. Here comes the pitch. It's strike, and the runner goes from first base, and he's in on time. So Rainier Beach's first hitter, he goes ahead and he steals second after a base on balls. And we're going to get some of these names for you. I know that the coach had promised to give me the information. As the next pitch comes in, and that is a strike 2. 2 strikes. He protected in the first at bat. Second one swings and misses. Oh, and there we go. Gets a little piece of that ball. He gets a little piece of that ball. I know that makes you feel good when you get a little wrap on it. Yeah. Obviously, we are broadcasters we never root for teams, and we're always pulling for kids, and we are pulling for these Rainier Beach kids because we know there might be a little bit overmatched, but I hope no one reads into it because we love our Ballard kids as well. They're playing real good, and they're up 9 runs, so we'll see if we can get something going on here. So the ball is ripped into the hole in shortstop, throw across the diamond, and that young man is out. That was a 6-3. So that's the first out of the inning. But on that play, the Rainier Beach player advanced to third base. And here comes the pitcher. Here comes the pitcher, number 9. And he obviously isn't a bad player, so here he comes up here. He's waving a bat that I'm very familiar with, the orange meta, and he hits a rocket, which is gloved by the second baseman over there, number 6. He is gloved by the second baseman over there, number 6. And let me see here. That was a nice play by the second baseman for Ballard. He got up in the air. He really did. That was Herman. That was Chase Herman got up in the air and stole that ball. So that will be the second out of the inning, a line out. And this brings up the 4th batter for Beach in the inning. And couple of pitches on the outside edge. This kid is wearing number 8. I'm going to call him Ocho for Rainier Beach. He's up there, and we will get the lineups shortly as he spoils a pitch, gets that one out of there. As the Rainier Beach fans move out of the way. Great to see the kids out here playing baseball again. I got a Seahawks jacket on. I've got a couple of layers under me. Couldn't find my long johns to get those on, but I do have a blue pair of pants on. As the next pitch is up over the head and the young man swings at it, hey, no problem. You'll get the next one. That's okay. Swing the bat. Pitch is a strike till it's proven to be a ball. So for Rainier Beach, they get a base on balls, but that was about all they get. They got a man to advance to third base, so they leave one runner on. And just like that, after the first inning, it is the Ballard Beavers 9 and the Rainier Beach Vikings 0. You're with Juan Cotto and you're with Daniel Bellis telling the story of our kids at the most beautiful location I could think of. We are down here at Rainier Playfield, and this is a beautiful day for baseball. Slightly overcast, just some sun breaking through. It's a little bit on the chilly side. I have my Kraken hat on, and when it gets a little uncomfortable, I'm going to go ahead and put that on. But right now, I'm just sitting here having a great time with everybody, watching some baseball. The young man who was the pitcher in the first inning for Beach looks like he's going behind the plate. I didn't get his pitch count, but I know it was a lot. Here comes Coach Fields, and Coach Fields is making a change in his battery. There's a young man wearing the number 8, and I called him Ocho. He just made the last out, and he's throwing the baseball up there, ladies and gentlemen. So he's going to go ahead and carry on and start some pitching for this squad. Juan Cotto and Daniel Bellis, boy, we've covered some things over the years. We've been some places. Daniel Bellis, Jim Street, myself, Tony B, and we have covered some baseball over in the eastern part of the state when we used to call state championships. Hopefully get that opportunity again. I can't remember the last time we were over there. I think that was like 2019, if I'm not mistaken. boy, has it been a full presidential term since we were the last time we were over there. Of course, we had to endure the pandemic. And of course, Rainier Avenue Radio was there for you during the pandemic. And as I think back on those days, my goodness, Tony B did a fantastic job, as did Daniel, as did James, as did the crew for Rainier Avenue, making sure that we were giving you up to date information on where you could go at that time to protect yourself. When so much was uncertain, there was something you could grasp onto, and that was Rainier Avenue Radio. So here we are today, as we were talking about down in Olympia, things are somewhat back to normal. And this is normal for us. Normal is playing baseball games and playing football games and playing basketball games and really working to tell the story of our kids. And we have a good time doing that. And we love coming out here where we can really have an opportunity to connect with people. And when you're on Rainier Avenue, let me tell you something, you connect with a lot of people. Trust me on that. Here comes the Ballard. This should be Max Steiner coming to the plate. Max last time doubled in his at-bat. He had a big double, and he drove in a couple of runs on that. So here we are in the second inning. Ballard is up 9-0. And I believe that there's a Metro League rule where the game is a mercy rule, depending upon where the score is and the inning that we're in. So we'll see if Rainier Beach can keep themselves from getting mercied. I think that's sometimes a really cool thing as a coach to try to instill in your players. You don't want the game to be called, but we'll see how this goes. Steiner, he doubled his last at bat. Taking a look out there, here comes the pitch, and he took a handle shot. If that was a wood bat, it breaks in two. But with an aluminum bat, he hits it down the left field line, and unfortunately, the ball gets past the left fielder, and Steiner is standing in at second base with what we are going to call a double. We'll call that a double. Tough play. I probably should call that a single in the air, but I want the kid out in left field to feel good about himself because it's just good that he's out here playing baseball. Here comes the Ballard team, and let me see if this is the same guy. Are they running their same players? Let's see what we got going on here. Looks like we have a broken piece of equipment, so we're gonna go ahead and get that fixed. And so the young man goes down to get that thing taken care of, and I believe that we have a new hitter coming up. This is a kid wearing number 6. Fortunately, I don't have the rosters. What we normally would do is we would call the coaches and the athletic directors. And my bad for not doing that, because we want to make sure that we are able to call your children and make sure that we have all their names right. And obviously, that's an important thing for them to do that as well. And they want to do that. As this pitch is hit to third base, third baseman backs up and he chucks the ball across the diamond. That's not going to be good enough a throw. It bounced in front of the first baseman, and the runner over there, Seaver, he advances over to third base. So that was Aiden DePaula in the beginning of the game, but they went ahead and looks like they've made a switch, and the young man wearing number 6 went ahead and hit that ball. So this brings up, it looks like, is this Coulter Good again? This could be Coulter. This was Coulter Good's spot. And let me see what we've got going on here. See if I can bring this up to if Coulter is still in there. And I guess he would have to be because he's the pitcher. Sir Coulter Good. It takes a ball 1. And that's a Coulter. Got Seaver at first base. I'm going to call it a DePaula, but I think that's a different player than DePaula over there at first base. And here comes the pitch to Coulter Good. That is down low. Ball number 2. 2 balls. The DH. There's a DH on the right shoulder. It's a very, very interesting story at Ballard, as the next pitch is just a little high. Ball 3. 3 balls. There's a DH. It's a white DH. It's on the right shoulder. That stands for Danny Hahn. Danny Hahn was a former player, and unfortunately he passed away to disease as the next pitch comes up over the head of Coulter Good. So he will walk the base on balls, and that will load the bases. He so the family made the decision that they wanted to make sure that Ballard baseball always had nice uniforms, and so the DH is in memorial to Danny Hahn, and I think that's such a unique way to extend a legacy. As in first pitch to this young man, this is Chase Herman, is outside and in the dirt, and nice block by the pitcher there for ball one. 9-0 Ballard over Rainier Beach. They've got the bases loaded. Ballard does in the second inning. And a rocket shot out to left field. The ball gets past the left fielder, and that is going to have Seaver. Here comes DePaula, and here comes Coulter Good chugging home, and that's going to pick up all three of those runs. Chase Herman hits a double, a two-base hit out to left field, and that makes the score Rainier Beach picks up 3. That is Rainier Beach 12, Ballard 0.
Flip that.
Did I say Rainier Beach? I'm sorry. That is Ballard 12. Now the parents are going to be all over. They're like, "You really want Rainier Beach?" Folks up north, please forgive me. I do love you up in Ballard. It's Ballard 12, the Vikings 0. Thank you very much. And that's why Daniel Bellis is here with us. The Olmsted Community Park legacy in our community, and the Olmsteds did a beautiful job of making sure that we kept parks and rec available to our communities. Next pitch sails in for a strike, and this park down here is one of the South End parks. It is just surrounded by trees. If you like if you're an arborist, if you like trees, we as we do at Seattle, so pitches kind of lined pop to second, and the jam shot gets caught. So that will be the first out of the inning. Was that Tripp again? That was the leadoff hitter, Tripp. Tripp is 1 for 3 today, as he hit a little line out to the second baseman. This brings up Finkelstein. First pitch is down the dirt. Nice block. Runner out at second base. That's Chase Herman. 12-0 Ballard on your community radio station, Rainier Avenue Radio .world. But once again, the Olmsted Parks are such a wonderful legacy to our Seattle communities. Next pitch is high, ball 2. The Olmsted Community Parks is such a great legacy to our community, and just it makes our parks so unique and so beautiful and so much fun to come to. So I know the new Parks and Rec director in the city has got to love being here for that reason alone. As the next pitch is kind of a bounding ball to third base to throw across the diamond, not in time. Pick. They're going to try to throw it across again to get the guy at third base, which is Herman, and that is also late. So give Max Finkelstein a single. A really good luck single on that one. Just the ball down the third baseline that just hit the right spot, and they couldn't throw him out. And now we will have a substitute runner coming in, and that's number 14 for Ballard. So this is going to bring up Trent Madonna, and Trent Madonna's coming in. Madonna in the first inning, he got on an air to the center fielder. Then he went ahead and flied out to right field. So he is 0 for 2. Yeah, I like the way he wears his pants, kind of pulls them up. Everyone kind of wears them down by their ankles now. That one is hit right off the end of the bat. It's kind of a cue ball. If he plays pool, that would have knocked in all the balls in the corner pocket. Trent Madonna, number 15 for the Ballard Beavers. He's got an Adidas jersey. They got Adidas tops and New Balance pants. As the next pitch comes in a little inside, right at the kid's head, and he ducked out. It wasn't thrown very hard, so he saw that one coming. And you were hearing some of the wind kind of whistle through here. It's just pick it up just a little bit as the clouds are starting to get a little grayer. Here comes the next pitch. It was thrown like a dart, a little bit of a slider throw to it as the runner goes down to second base. That was Finkelstein. He will go down to second. And so Truitt is sitting there. He's got the count in his favor. And he's taking that meta and just kind of waving it, sitting back in the stands. Gets his hands up. Here comes a pitch, low and outside, blocked by the catcher. It goes over to the backstop. And once again, it's one of the chain link fence backstops with the dugout that's made into it. So not ideal for baseball in the fact that the ball doesn't get away very far. And it's a real 50-50. Obviously, with a 12-0 lead, nothing you're going to risk. You're probably just going to let Truitt go ahead and swing the stick. Signals given. Here comes the check of the runner at third. Pitch, a little high. And that is ball 4. So Madonna will go ahead and walk down the first base. And that reloads the bases for Mr. Gray Shiotani. Tani had a base on balls. Actually, he's got 2 walks today, if I'm not mistaken. Actually, it was a drop third strike. Drop third strike in his first at bat and a base on balls. Left-handed batter. Traditional stance. Here comes a pitch. Inside, a little bit more slider action. Looked like he was trying to turn that ball over a little bit and got away. A big smile on his face. He's wearing his catcher out. Gotta love that interplay with the pitcher and the catcher. Juan Cotto touching bases with you. Daniel Bellis along with me. Rainier Avenue Radio.world, our community radio station, your community radio station, 24 hours a day. Here comes the pitch. It's up high. Ball to 2 balls on the hitter, Grady Shiotani. Moves in with his black batting helmet, the little logo on the left-hand shoulder. I saw the little Ballard baseball dude. I don't know if it's a Beaver or not. Somebody supports him, and that's also up, and that is ball 3. Young guy's got his fingers on top of the ball. He looks like he's throwing paper airplanes. I just can't get him down. He's got to throw for the hitters or the feet. I always told my kids in Little League, try to throw the ball between the legs of the catcher. That'll get your ball down in the strike zone. And I think that's what Matt Fields. And Matt Fields, by the way, has a great demeanor. He is sitting and he's working with the kids, talking to them. And that's one of the things when you're trying to build a program in inner city schools where the kids aren't players who traditionally play on all of these select teams and paying several $1,000s a year to participate in the game. You have kids, you have to sit down and you really have to work with them. And this game obviously is difficult for so many reasons. One thing, it's a test of the head. You really have to be mentally prepared to play baseball. And those of us that have done it and have passed that test, whether you play in high school, whether you play in college, or you're fortunate enough to go into the minor leagues like Mr. Fields was, you really develop a mindset that you've got to push through things. And this is what he's trying to work with the Rainier Beach Club on. Here goes the pitch. And that was just a little bit inside. I think that may have grazed Grady, but that will send Grady down the first base, and now we're playing merry-go-round. So Shiotani walks, and that will bring up Dylan Wallbloom. I believe they're going to bring up Dylan again. 13 for 22. So we've got a change of runners, and a tall young athlete coming out wearing number 13 on his back, and he is going to go over there and run the bases for Grady Shiotani. Grady's a catcher, so he gets that. He's going to probably go change his gear and get that on to speed the game up a little bit. But this should bring up Dylan Wallbloom. Wallbloom waving his bat. He's hit a single today, and he's also grounded out to the third baseman to end the last inning, the first inning of the ball game. It is Ballard 13, the Rainier Beach Vikings 0 on your community radio station, Rainier Avenue Radio.world. This is an intense battle right here. Bases are loaded. Here comes the pitch. Outside part of the plate, a ball number 2. Picking that ball up. And I tell you, if you love baseball, this is a great school to be at, Rainier Beach. You'd probably have a chance to play a lot. And the kids are taking advantage of it. And I don't get into the score. I think this is about learning and developing, and hopefully they will get an opportunity to work on their ball game as the next pitch comes in and comes up at the head of Dylan, and it almost hits him. And so him being in the 9th man that's being sent to the plate, we will go ahead and just see how he handles the situation. I believe the count is a solid 3-0. Its temperature's got to be around maybe 50 degrees as the next pitch breaks off outside. It was a slider, and that's going to bring Finkelstein across the plate. And each base runner is going to move up 90 feet. So Wallbloom gets the base on balls. And he scampers himself down to first base. And here comes Max Seaver again. Seaver led off the inning. He had a double to start this. It was kind of a jam shot double. I think he'd like to hit one on the barrel this time. Here comes the pitch. Oh, and he kind of popped that into the gap, and that is going to get down for at least one. But the center fielder goes to second base. He steps on the bag, and is he out over there? What's the call? I think they called him safe. So a single by Seaver. And that drives in one run. And that makes a score Ballard a 15, Rainier Beach a nothing. And a nice little piece of just soft hitting by Seaver. Seaver did get the barrel on it and kind of lined it on that 3/4 point of the bat and just missed the center of it, but enough to drive in a run and get himself on base. Here comes Aiden DePaula, wearing the Bruce Bolt batting gloves. If you're familiar with those, they have the big wrist wraps around them, and he's got a big, looks like it to me, it is almost like an orange bolt. Nice looking on the white with the light blue wraps around the the wrist. Waving his bat. Here comes the pitch. It's caught the strike zone. Yes, it did. Nice looking pitch there, kind of floated in and gets him into it. The kids nowadays are using this weird kind of swing, something like my golf swing, the old chicken wing on the left arm if you're a right-handed hitter, and taking the right arm and whistling it through. In golf, you want to keep it totally straight as much as you can, but these kids here are bending the arm, and someone told me that helps them elevate the pitch. We didn't do that. We just swung it as hard as we stinking could. Tried to elevate it out onto Rainier Avenue if we could, man. I never held back on that as the count on the Paula goes to 3 balls and no strikes. Rainier Beach pitcher brings the pitch in. Oh, and that ball is high and in the gap in left field. Will he be able to get it? What a nice running play by the center fielder. That brings it in, and we get runners advancing, but I'm got to give that kid a stand up. What a catch out there in center field for the young man for Rainier Beach. And that will be the second out of the inning, if I'm not mistaken. And so that should bring up Coulter Good, who's the pitcher, Coulter Good. Good hit a double in his first at bat, base on balls in his second at bat. And he's got runners at first and third as we speak right now. And that ball kind of smacks into the dirt, and that will be a ball one. 1 ball to Coulter Good. Coming up here for his third at bat. Next pitch is good. Strike 2 to Coulter Good. Wallbloom on third, Seaver on first. Good at the plate. Here comes a pitch. Outside edge, gas strike. 1 ball. I think it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Swinging my son's favorite bat, the Category 9. Cat 9. Coulter Good, the pitcher for the Ballard Beavers. Here comes the next pitch. Line back right, hit it right where they ain't. Hit that ball right back up the middle. And that will be a single. And that's going to bring up our man, Chase Herman. Herman has got on base because of an error to the second baseman. He's also hit a double. The Ballard Beavers 16, Rainier Beach 0, top of the second inning. Check the runner at second. Here's the pitch. A little bit outside. Ball 1. Max Seaver over there at second base. You've got Coulter Good at first. Chase Herman at the plate. 1 for 2 today. Aaron, the second baseman, and a double. This one's popped up. This is going to be a tough play. It's right in that triangle between the shortstop and the center fielder and the second baseman. And the second baseman caught it on a hop and just could not stop his momentum. And Seaver jogs in from second, and that will be another run. That'll make it 17-0. And you have to give Chase a single on that, don't you? Good luck single, as I call it. That's a just kind of going with the murine, the seeing eyedropper, dropping it in where nobody could get to it, and that will put Coulter good on second, and Chase Herman on first. On a brisk day, it's starting to become brisker down here on Rainier Avenue. If you're Viking, it's a little brisker than that. Here comes the pitch. Strike one, and I don't know who this young man is. This is number 11. He's come up to lead off to he's hitting for Tripp. Took Adam Tripp out of the game. And once again, I think that Doug Montgomery, the coach of Ballard, knows, hey, I don't want the score run up in basketball season, so I'm gonna keep this cool over here, if you know what I mean. Bring in his other players, and that's what he's done. And they're not stealing. Good to see that Montgomery's kids have a healthy respect for the game. I know nowadays, you're supposed to score as many runs as possible, and every pass ball, every pitch you run. But nice to see that their kids are holding on, and at this point in the game, go ahead and just drive in the runs as a piece of equipment looks like it's coming off on the young catcher for Rainier Beach. So the umpire is helping do that. And obviously he has similar equipment, so he might be a little bit of an expert on that. Just tightens it up a little bit, and he's able to get that on. There we go. It fits. And obviously in this level of baseball, you want to be able to make sure that the equipment is right and it will protect the kids. And he's got the Easton equipment. He's got a Rawlings helmet. And sometimes the Rawlings helmet has a big piece on the back of it, and it's hard to adjust that, but he's got it. Next pitch is down in the dirt, and he did a nice job of catching that ball. He just needs one more strike. His parents are cajoling him. Really exciting. Dug in. Here goes this young man from Ballard. He's got a black bat that he's waving around. Here was a pitch. He caught the outside corner. And obviously I had the count wrong because that was we thought that was strike three. But it was not strike three. So here comes a young man for Rainier Beach. Stride and throw a little high. And this is where Coach Matt Fields, I mean, he can sit down and he can work with these kids. It's probably 2 weeks into seeing them. So he's looking at their mechanics, and Matt understands mechanics, trying to get this kid a little bit down so he's throwing the ball over the top and getting the ball down in the zone a little bit. His next pitch is high, and he went from a 1 ball and a 2 ball 2 strike count and just walked the next hitter. So gets a little base on balls there. And this is going to be bring up a hitter. So Montgomery is bringing in the JV guys. Here comes this guy is hitting for Max Finkelstein. Finkelstein's day is done, and he had 3 singles. And this is a left-handed hitter. Here comes the pitch. It's in on the hands. It's popped up. It's over the second baseman's head. It finds a spot right in that, once again, that triangle. Flips the ball in, and there we go. Another run for the Ballards. And that will also, once again, and that, good for them. Good for Ballard. They're playing station to station baseball, not running up the score. Just making sure that the kids get to where they're supposed to go and no further, 1 base at a time. So that makes a score. Ballard 18, the Rainier Beach Vikings 0. Another left-handed hitter, nice-looking kid too. He looks like he's a tall, thin guy. Nice-looking classic batting stance, peering out there, and I believe there's 1 out in the inning, if I'm not mistaken. And that pitch was just inside. I know the umpire's right arm wanted to go up, but a pitch that was just missed. 0 ball and 1 strike. And in these types of situations, if you are Rainier Beach, you just want to battle. You want to focus. You want to battle. See if you can keep yourself in the ball game. Here's the next pitch. A little bit off speed. Floated that sucker in there for a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. Vikings down. Vikings battling. Vikings always giving it their best effort. And once again, this is a game right now that is a tough game. And we'll see if the Rainier Beach Vikings kind of hang in there. This next pitch is fouled off. for strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Was there a comment from a person?
Yeah, they wanted to know who the pitcher was for Rainier Beach, number 8.
We're going to work on getting that information at the break. How about that? And we will find that information out. Here comes the next pitch. It's hit to the second baseman. He slides over, takes a little bobble, spin, just couldn't pick it up. Couldn't pick up the ball. And sometimes that happens on the dirt fields. The ball will stay down. And unfortunately, the young guy could not make the play. And that will be a E4 for him. And that will bring in another run for the Ballards. And they're up 19-0. And here comes another left-handed hitter. They have a bunch of tall, lean, left-handed hitters on the Ballard squad. Here comes the stride and the pitch. Just a little tiny bit up for ball 1. The wind kicking up a little bit. Juan Cotto and Daniel Bellis over here at Rainier Playfield, a place where I played so many games coming up through the ranks so long ago now. But let me tell you something. It's all the same. I remember we were even racing as the next pitch is high for a ball 2. I remember racing my dad around the bases. We did one of those reverse things, and he clipped me at second base, and I had the wind knocked out of me. Thought I was on another planet, and my dad just picked me up, hugged me, and told me he loved me and brought me back to health. And now I'm telling stories about that as the next pitch goes right down the middle. Strike 2. 1 ball and 2 strikes. And here we go. I believe it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Could be 2 balls and 1 strike. We'll find out as the count goes on. Rainier Beach digging in their heels. See if they can keep in this ball game. See if they can score a couple of runs in their next few at-bats to get this game from being cut short. A pitch high. 3 balls. I believe it is 2 balls and 2 strikes, but no indication from the ump. Ump's shoes are nice and clean, though, for a field that's dirt like this. Rainier Beach Vikings pitcher takes back, drops down, throws. Ooh, right down there. Catches the inside part of the plate. So I was off on the count. It is now 2-2. Young man looked back and said, did that pitch catch the inside part of the plate? It did, 13. Oh, it's just fun and wonderful to have fans over here from Ballard and Rainier Beach rooting on their kids. As this pitch is lined into center field, that's going to score at least 1 run. The other will score 2 runs. The ball gets past the center fielder, and that young man there just hit a double. We're going to call it a single in an air, but that will clean off the gentleman over there, the kid that was playing for Madonna, he stopped third, but the other 2 guys came in. And I believe that makes the score Ballard 21, the Vikings 0. And this brings up the 19th batter of the inning. So the Doug Montgomery is definitely unloading his bench now. He's got all of his JV players in now, I believe. I'm sure that there will be a decision made on Coulter Good. Coulter Good looks like he's one of their better pitchers. We'll probably either move him to another location. So deep breath out there by the pitchers, and it's all good, ladies and gentlemen. It's all good as we're figuring out baseball. And trust me, I went to a number of these myself. Nice looking throw across the diamond from the third baseman. Will he get it there in time? No, he gets past the first baseman. Looking at that, so we have another run score. Kid over there did he make it too? Yes. And we had a couple of errors here, so we are getting got runners at first and second. And here comes this young man again, the kid that hit for DePaulo last time. He had a ball to the center fielder last time, number 33 here. And let's see where this pitch goes. In the dirt, off the knee of the catcher. But nobody's running. So ball will go back to the pitcher and see if they can get this going. It is 20-0. The Ballard Beavers over the Rainier Beach Vikings. But we really don't care about the score right now. What we do care about to see is how these Rainier Beach kids in these kind of cool blue pinstripes with the orange pinstripes. Never seen that before. If they can stick with it. And this is what working with inner city baseball players is all about. You've got to stay focused. You've got to stay competitive. You've got to support each other on the bench. And we'll see if Rainier Beach does a good job of doing that, because right now they and trust me, as many of you guys know that listen to the broadcast, those who remember, and I know it was a while ago, I took a lot of these types of games when I was coaching CAY, also when I played. And it was all about seeing how you can stay positive when everything is telling you not to stay positive. And that's one of the things of life, huh, Daniel?
Yes, sir.
Here comes a Ballard. And we will definitely do a better job of getting uniforms and everything updated as this ball is hit into the gap out there in left field. The center fielder picks it up, but not until the young man at second base. He will score, and that makes the score an even 22-0.
Oh, that's 23.
Is that 23? So I'm getting cut off on my count. Daniel, fuck on me. And here comes. It looks like Matt Fields is going out there to go talk to his pitcher, and he's done such a good job of trying to make sure that this kid is staying in the ballgame. So he's going to go over there and talk to him. I think he's going to think about nice job by Ocho. Nice job, Ocho. Get yourself out of this. And so here comes another Rainier Beach kid. So Matt Fields, once again, he is a former star at Rainier Beach in multiple sports. He's a young man who is so dedicated to the game of baseball, played professionally. And I told him before the game, and we had a very, very brief conversation. I told him how I have followed his career, and I just think the world of him. So anyways, I hope all is going well. And if Daniel could take over for a second, I have a call I need to take.
Okay. Live on your community radio station, Rainier Avenue Radio. Let's go ahead and just pay some bills for a second while they figure this out here on the mound. So be right back on your.
Welcome to the Fitness Corner. I'm your host, Mark Bryant, and you're going to get a whole total body workout on my show, starting off with a warm-up, aerobics, strength training, cool down, and stretching every Friday from 11:30 to 12 right here on Rainier Avenue Radio.
Rainier Avenue Radio presents All Music, All Day Saturday. Music, all day Saturday.
This is Edwin Bailey, Bulldog Blue.
Jazz from the Cabinets.
That's right. It's time once again for Jazz from the Cabinets with Big Poppy.
Start time.
Thanks for tuning in. My name is Paul Pierce. This is Start Time.
Saturdays, all music, all day. Reggae Hour, K-Fox Night.
Looking for the perfect beat? Yeah, it's the beat of the box.
Fresh Juice with B-Money in the group.
Myself, Blue Money.
Nice Size Patrol.
Taylor
There's a Spencia, the Northwest Rap Game.
DJ Medina. Chad Cheddar. Northwest Rap Game.
Sergio Lacour's Love Line.
It's Sergio's Love Lines with Sergio LaCour. Go to the phone line. Tell her who we talking.
Sea Monster Radio. Mo Jams. It's your jam.
We're live. Welcome to Mojo Mondays. This is KZ of KZ Music Media. Caller Goddess for Mojo Mondays.
Just my God is inspiration all day and all night. Saturdays on RainierAvenueRadio.org.
Hospital bills are often a surprise, and not the good kind. But you may also be surprised to learn that you can get 50, 75, or even 100% off those bills. Thanks to a new law, there's a good chance you're one of the 4 million Washingtonians who qualify. Whether or not you have health insurance, the law requires hospitals provide the care you need at an affordable cost. So, ask your hospital or visit affordablehospital.wa.gov to see if you are eligible.
Turn up your radio wherever you at. We about to bring it.
Street Beat with Tony B.
Tony B will give you a chance to tackle local, national, and international issues that affect your community.
Street Beat. Street Beat. Tony.
Hey, Buford, why are you kicking that old CD player?
Because I can't hear the radio.
Can't hear the radio? Let me help you.
Hey, you two, quit beating up that outdated audio equipment. You can't hear the radio on a CD player.
You can.
No, you can't, you adorable simpletons. But you can hear some great radio on the Rainier Avenue Radio app. It's brand new, it's free, and it's available for Android and iPhone. In fact, you can download the Rainier Avenue Radio app right now from the Google Play Store or the iPhone App Store.
I'm going to go give me a smartphone right now.
I'm just going to put a graduation cap on my rotary phone. You two have very significant personal issues. Get the Rainier Avenue Radio.world app today.
You probably have questions about COVID vaccines. Here are some answers about how they're being made.
How are COVID vaccines being produced faster?
Usually, vaccine testing and production are separate steps. But because of the pandemic, vaccines are being developed on parallel tracks. So both steps are happening just at the same time.
How are the vaccines being tested?
Right now, several different COVID vaccines are in testing. Each go through multiple clinical trials with up to thousands of volunteers.
How do vaccines get approved?
Not all COVID vaccine versions will make it to the final stages of testing and approval. Produced vaccines that do not pass clinical trials will be destroyed. But for those that do pass, a team of medical experts will examine test results and possible side effects. If the vaccine is effective and safe, it gets approved and gets to you. Go to covidvaccinewa.org to learn more. A message from the state of Washington.
You're listening to Rainier Avenue Radio.world. I'm Granville Emerson along with my partner, Ronald Pepe Bean. And we host the show Little Line Sports right here on Rainier Avenue Radio.world, where we talk about football, basketball, local sports, national sports, Seahawks, UW, Seattle U Redhawks, Garfield Bulldogs, all that and more right here on Little Line Sports on Rainier Avenue Radio.world.
Kind of nonsense conversation we're having here.
The Neon Ghost Show. The Neon Ghost Show. Right here on Rainier. What's it? Rainier Avenue Radio.world.
Right about now.
Rainier Avenue Radio.world. I'm so tired. I have to pee.
Seattle Parks and Recreation is hiring for a temporary seasonal laborer to help keep the parks clean this summer. A seasonal laborer makes almost $26 per hour and is assigned to a variety of work crews, including grounds maintenance, on a garbage packer truck, or on static assignment.
Please apply if you're interested in working outside in our city's parks at bit.ly/SPRL2023.
Generational wealth. Generational wealth. Generational wealth. What is generational wealth? We asked our communities.
And this is what they had to say.
Generational wealth is having financial security and not having to worry about it for yourself, your immediate family, and future generations. It's a very elusive idea to me personally because it's not something in my immediate experience, and it's only something that I'm learning about a little bit more in theory and knowing or trying to know if that's like a real possibility for someone like me.
This campaign to create awareness to generational wealth is brought to you by the Department of Neighborhood's Generational Wealth Initiative, the Washington Housing Finance Commission, and Rainier Avenue Radio.world.
Create your generational wealth for you and the future of your families.
This is Big Poppy, host of Jazz from the Cabinets. Join me each week for a listening tour of the first century of jazz, an eclectic mix of Dixieland, big band, cool jazz, bebop, contemporary jazz, world jazz, all jazz in all forms. That's Jazz from the Cabinets with Big Poppy on Rainier Avenue Radio, streaming worldwide on RainierAvenueRadio.world.
Well, when you have a lobbyist working as your broadcaster, you get a variety of different interesting phone calls. Today was Senate Budget Day down in Olympia, and I'm sure everyone has been following it. And if you're not, you probably should. That the Supreme Court of the state of Washington voted 7-2 to continue the capital gains tax, so more revenue coming to Olympia. And exactly what my wife doesn't want me talking about is politics on Rainier Avenue Radio.world, but just finishing up some business that we had down there. The Ballard Beavers were finishing up some business, and obviously they have a 23-0 lead, and the Vikings are coming up to bat. So finally, the first inning got over. Ballard's Doug Montgomery did an outstanding job of getting his players to buy in and make some bunts and do some things to shut the game down, to settle the game down and allow Rainier Beach to come up and hit. Once again, baseball is such a community game. It is a game that is so important to all of us that spent time in it. And every once in a while, you get games like this, and we see this. And once again, for me, I just love to see if the kids come out here and compete. And here comes the first baseman for Rainier Beach, and he, in his green Nikes, is up there. He looks like that kid in the commercial for the home runs, and I hope he jacks one. And hey, once again, not to dismantle the Ballard kid as he takes a cut at it. I mean, he makes some contact. But just to see if we can get some excitement and some energy from the Rainier Beach kids as they're trying to battle their way, I'm sure, through this season. I'm sure it is no walk in the park to go play some of the private schools, which they will have to play. There is so many differences in sports nowadays, as we all know. These select teams and AAU programs and taking certain players who play on these teams, and you have some schools that have kids who are incredibly competitive, and it works both ways, right? Because sometimes we've called a Rainier Beach basketball game and they're playing in a school that's not very good, and they're putting a lot of points up, and this is sort of the opposite end of that for the Vikings. And we know there's some tremendous athletes out there. We know there's some kids who care an awful lot about participating. But once again, they have the right man for the program, Matt Fields, and I was so excited to hear that he took the job, made the sacrifice. He made the sacrifice in a community right now that really needs that sort of sacrifice. And he'll put his arm around these kids as the pitch is swung on, foul tipped, and missed, and that will be strike 3. So young Coulter Good is still in there, and here comes the Vikings up again. This young man, number 12. Next time that I broadcast the game, we will have all of the information for you, so we'll be able to do this. And so we're trying to get the names of the players as the Rainier Beach number 12 takes a big, healthy cut and misses. Strike 1. Juan Cotto, Daniel Bellis. Juan Cotto, the lobbyist for the blood industry in the state of Washington. You heard some of that. Daniel, thank you so much for shielding my phone call so I can sit here and conduct some business. As we are looking to support our community through blood donation at Bloodworks Northwest, at Vitalent, at Cascade down in Tacoma as the next pitch comes in for a strike, and the American Red Cross. And we're looking for support to do that. And if anyone is listening, please consider donating blood. Rainier Beach has the athletes, as you can tell. Some kids who are strong, and of course the baseball gene, the baseball talent. You have to work at it constantly, and getting some kids on there on the plate, and the umpire helping the kid out, getting him situated in the batter's box. And here comes the pitch from Mr. Colton Good. And it's hit a rocket up there to the shortstop, makes a play, throws across the diamond, and what hustle! What hustle! So as I said, I wanted to see if these Rainier Beach kids would come out here and compete. And the young first baseman went flying down the diamond. He dove into the bag, and that will be the third out of the inning. So 1, 2, 3 for Rainier Beach, but nevertheless, they're not giving up, and I hope that you're not giving up on your community radio station, our community radio station, Rainier Avenue Radio.world. You were listening to Juan Cotto. You were listening here with his broadcast partner in crime, Daniel Bellis. Daniel, the producer to the Stars. And let me tell you something about the Rainier Beach Vikings today. They are down 23-0 after the end of 2. But Daniel, I love that effort that kid just put forth.
He put it all on the table, man. He was rushing.
We are going to cover baseball this year. Daniel, is Tony B sending us back over? Actually, the state championships are up in Everett this year, I believe. Yeah. So we won't have to go across the state. We will be here, and nice job today. We will be here. We will be up in Everett. We will be up in Everett watching those ball games. As a matter of fact, excuse me, I want to get over my situation. But as you have been listening to Mick Hoffman, the executive director of the Washington Interscholastic Activities Association, he told me, Juan, we don't have to go over to Eastern Washington this year. He said the 3A and the 4A are going to be up in Everett this year at Everett Stadium, which is a great stadium and a great venue, the home of the Everett Aqua Sox. But at Tuesdays at 3 p.m., Pacific time, you can hear. And the great thing is that we don't sit and really talk about high school sports. Mick Hoffman is not only he's outstanding. If you haven't had a chance to listen to him, but he comes out and he really talks a lot to us about different things going on in high school sports off the field. And he talks about the administration of the programs. He really has raised our awareness about the relationships with the venues and how much it costs to run a state championship. And that's why we don't have all the football games in the Tacoma Dome anymore. But he talks about those decisions, how they're made, and the impact that they're having. I know a lot of people talk to him at a couple of different programs that I was at. They were like, well, we can't wait next year when the football games are down in Tacoma. And, Mick said, hey, something, we are going to be analyzing all of that. And we're going to try to find some venues that work for us to generate revenue. And if that's a high school stadium, it will be a high school stadium. And we're going to make it a special experience for our kids and the teams that participate in that. And I just love hearing how he goes about to do that. He also talks about how high school sports is a program that really helps develop kids in the community. And he really shares his insights on that. So fascinating programming. Tuesdays at 3 p.m., Mick Hoffman, the executive director of the Washington Interscholastic Activities Association, on Prime Time Weekly. And it is a show that has gotten a lot of really, really good acclaim from high school executives and also from my wife, Sarah, who actually likes listening to me on that program. And I'm sure she and Araceli and Clemente are probably listening to me right now. It is 23-0 Ballard over Rainier Beach. But you know what? This is baseball at its best. And this is baseball at one of the most beautiful urban parks, I think, in the country, Rainier Playfield. And here comes Rainier Beach's pitcher, the young man who dove wearing the number 21. Pitches low and outside, ball one. The number 21 brings up memories of the great Pittsburgh Pirate right fielder Roberto Clemente, known in baseball circles as number 21. And I named my son after him. And Clemente wears the number 21 for the O'Day Irish C team as the next pitch comes in, ball two inside. And it's such a unique connection to baseball, what Roberto Clemente meant in the baseball world. Certainly, as many of you know, or I may have told the story before, I was in Puerto Rico as a 7-year-old when Roberto Clemente's plane went down in the Caribbean, ending his life, and really just creating a time in Puerto Rico that was such a devastation, and the great Clemente trying to take earthquake supplies as the next pitch misses outside to Nicaragua, and that will be ball four. And I have so much respect for that family that I named my son after Clemente for what he meant, not only to baseball, but to a person of great humanitarian interests. And certainly my son carries that name proudly as the next pitch comes in. It's in the dirt and blocked by the catcher. Ball number one. The Ballard Beavers coming up. And you are hearing planes going overhead. So we are under the north flight pattern of SeaTac Airport. So the planes literally come flying over the field. This ball has popped up, might hit this 767 flying over our heads. The left fielder gets under it, camps under it, makes a catch. And that is the first out of the inning. So nice a show by the kid out there in left field making that play. And once again, you're seeing Rainier Beach improve every inning. And as can I do a commercial? That's an Amazon Prime plane coming in. So probably a package or two of mine that are going to be delivered are going to be coming off of that thing. Here comes I believe this is the left-handed hitter. I was going to say this was it's not the Paula. The leg is raised and the pitch comes floating in. Strike one. And this young man is battling. Does anybody know the pitcher's name? Who's the pitcher? Do you know the pitcher's name? Is that Dallas? What's the last name? That's Dallas Avalava. My man, Dallas Avalava, who I coached when he had to be very, very young at Rainier Beach. I was there during the pandemic season a couple of years ago. I thought that was Dallas. Dallas is a defensive lineman. Dallas is a offensive, and he is a. You don't want to get in front of Dallas Avalava if you are a cornerback or linebacker and there's a pulling guard coming. Let me tell you something. Dallas will punish you. Dallas with the right-handed pitch. I didn't realize he played baseball. That looks good filling out that baseball suit. I thought that was my man, Dallas Avalava. I'll go say hi to him after the game. Had a chance to coach with him and Coach Corey Sampson. Coach Sampson, I was on his staff a couple of years ago, and meaningful times in the pandemic. I think we were all kind of stuck inside. We had that pandemic season playing football and the late winter and early spring. And let me tell you something, it was cold as this pitch is out to center field, and a nice catch by the young man in center field. And that will be the second out of the inning. So Avalava salutes his man out there, kind of swings his arm, old Dallas, and that will be out number 2. So Dallas is putting pitches across the plate. And here comes this young man from Ballard, number 4, on his back. And that meta, kind of an older school meta, kind of a red bat, kind of matching his colors of the Ballard team. Avalava's leg kick. Aval looks like he's in slow motion, but he throws a pitch, and it's drilled out to right field, and the ball is stopped out there in right field and thrown back into the infield. So once again, Rainier Beach making better plays. And it's just funny to think about it, because the thing that we know about baseball is this: it's an illusion. It looks so easy on television. I can go up there and hit that guy, and you put a team together, and just you think they would function properly. But this game is hard, as they say. It's a simple game, but the game can be hard at times. As Avalava checks the runners, goes in that slow leg kick, and here comes the pitch. He grunts that one out. It was a little high. You can hear him grunting from over here. Rainier Beach fighting to stay in it. Rainier Beach working their tails off. As I'm looking at the WIAA 3A runs per game, the top 25. Lakeside scoring 6.5 runs a game. Beach. Oh, I'm sorry, though.
That's actually a little inflated, if you will, because Beach and Cleveland, they played a very high run scoring game against each other.
That's what happened.
Cleveland won the game, but yeah.
That is awesome. Avalava, big smile on his face. He's joking over there with some of his coaches and teammates. Goes in that slow delivery. Here comes a pitch. Goes down to it. It's kind of like Colin Morikawa. Takes the club back real slow, and Dallas Avalava takes his weight back real slow as he's transferring that get the weight on shift on the back leg, so he can go ahead and prepare to push off the mound. And it's kind of cool to watch. Although if you have a runner on base, you could steal on him, but we're not doing that if you're Ballard. And that pitch was right across the letters. So little might have been just a touch. I'm going to call that a strike. I think it was fine. Here comes Avalava. He's staring in, getting his signals. Has some hair coming out of that hat of his as the next pitch gets away from the catcher, and that will be ball 4, and he walks. Avalava's hair is a lot longer than when I saw him 2 years ago. He's got a little bit of a mane sticking out. It looks a little bit like a horse's tail coming out of his cap. And that will bring up number 3 for Ballard. And we're going to have names for you next game, I promise. Getting back to baseball. Haven't called a baseball game in a couple of years. I remember we did Rainier Beach and O'Day. What an exciting game that was back in 2021. We were up there at Medgar Evers Pool as the pitch sails in from Avalava for a strike. And Garfield, man, their parents had like a program done. It was incredible. They had all this stuff done, and just such a spirited group as the next pitch is to get hard down the right field line, and it sails into the foul territory. So Avalava's doing what he's supposed to do. He's getting the pitch up there and giving kids the balls to hit. And when you're coming in relief like this is what you want to do. Maybe you get a catch or two. Maybe you get a give up a base hit or two, but it speeds the game along a little bit. It looks like this is going to be a shortened game today. Avalava's leg goes up. Here comes a pitch. It's in the dirt. Let's get away. And that's the other thing, that when you're pitching in particular, but you turn your hand to the side of the baseball and it changes the rotation so easily. And when people say throw a curveball, it's like you have to torque your arm. You really don't. The fingers come off the side of it, and he's getting that slider dot, but I don't even think he really realizes that he's doing it. Avalava's leg goes up. The motion here, pitch inside. Saw that pitch coming. 2-2. Yep, 2-2. Flash it. Thank you, umpire, for flashing the signals. The day is getting a little bit cooler. The little tiny bit of sun that we had has kind of gone behind these big billowy gray clouds. The next pitch is up over the numbers. That's a ball 3 balls. And Avalava kind of gives a little bit of a disgust. Yeah, it's hard. Dallas, it's hard to get that ball in that little 17-inch wide, sometimes 24-inch high strike. So trying to find that box is tough, but sometimes it gets expanded. You're going to find it. Here's the next pitch, just a little bit low and outside, and that will be ball 4, and that starts the merry-go-round again. Ballard picks up their 24th run of the game. I really do like this new Seahawks jacket that I got. As people will probably expect, I am bundled up today. Got my Seahawks jacket on. I'm putting on my Seattle Kraken hat. If you're watching me on television, I'm going to put the Kraken hat on. This pitch goes outside. Make sure that I get my head warmed up, and makes me look about 6 years younger on TV. Anyway, so I like having my hat on, put my mom's glasses on, and get back to where I can actually see this game. As the next pitch was a check swing ball. I was actually strike. 1 ball and 1 strike is the count. So here we are, 24-0, all amongst friends here. If you are the parents of the Ballard Beavers, thank you. If you're the parents of the Vikings, thank you. We love telling the stories of your kids. And I just want to make sure everybody understands there are no losers. There are no losers on a day like today. Nothing but winners here. These are kids who are learning the game of baseball. The game of baseball is tough, and so is life. And the lessons learned from days like today will carry forward for many years. Avalava goes in his windup, gets a pitch on the hands, it's fisted, and that ball just gets over the second baseman's head into right field. Another run comes in, and Ballard playing the merry-go-round, just going 1 base at a time, station to station. So that will be Rainier Ballard's 24. Is that 24 or is that 25?
24.
24.
We just got another one?
Another one, yep.
No, 25.
25. So here comes this little dude. He's got a nice little necklace, Bruce Bolton batting gloves, New Balance shoes. Did I read off all of the commercial endorsements right there? As the first pitch is lined down the first base side, and it just missed being a base hit by about 1.5 feet. So that will bring up strike 1. Dallas Avalava. Is Dallas going to school anywhere next year? Is he senior this year? Is he going to play football anywhere? Dallas, do you know? Where's he playing football? He's going to Idaho? Doesn't surprise me. Avalava, I just found out, is going to Idaho, the University of Idaho, and he gets out of the inning. Dallas gets out of the inning. So he was a joy to coach when I was down there. Real nice young man, and I'm looking forward to seeing him. I'm looking forward to seeing him get out of this inning, which he did. I know he's happy to be at this inning. See, he goes into the dugout with a big smile on his face. So Ballard picks up a few more runs, and at the top of the 3rd inning, it is Ballard 25, Rainier Beach 0 on your community radio station, our community radio station, Rainier Avenue Radio.world. And Daniel, is there anything that we're promoting right now on our radio station?
Anything that we're promoting? Well, I mean, we got a plethora of shows. Like you often say when you do promotions, we got everything on this station.
Do we ever?
I mean, look at all those different shows, and that's just I guess that's the top of the iceberg, if you will.
And in the city of Seattle, Daniel, in the city of Seattle, we have a political year coming up, and if you like politics. there will be some politicking going on this summer. City council races, dog catcher races, and I love politics on Rainier Avenue Radio because you hear a lot of people who are so passionate. Some of them have some views that are very interesting, and it just seems that politics in today's America brings out the most passionate opinions of all of us. And I hope in November, after the elections and after the campaigns, we're still talking to each other. Well, it's Rainier Avenue Radio, so we will be. But anyways, looking forward to this year here in the city of Seattle. Will be a lot of politics. If you like that, we have it. If you like world music, we have it. If you like fresh juice, we have that too. Tune in for fresh juice, and you'll hear the man to my left and right on the screen, Daniel Bellis. Yeah, D-Money, Pint-Sized Patron.
No G Mumbo.
Oh, you guys got some fun.
Yourself.
You guys had some fun. That's 9 p.m. Pacific time on your community radio station, Rainier Avenue Radio.world. I believe it's on Wednesdays.
At 9 p.m.
Wednesdays at 9 p.m. Wednesdays at 9 p.m. Give a special shout out. My daughter, Araceli, has her 10th birthday next Wednesday night. And Araceli shares birthdays with her daddy. So you could shout out to me if you'd like to. But Araceli told Mama, don't get Daddy any more birthday gifts. He's got the best one, me. Gift that just keeps on giving as this pitch comes in. And that's old Coulter Good pitching this third inning. Fires a pitch for strike one. Coulter Good. Oh, that pitch came up in a little bit. I was watching the Netflix special. I don't know if you've had a chance to see the Netflix special on Lynn Nolan Ryan that they have. And I tell you, whoever put that together did a masterful job of following Lynn Nolan Ryan's illustrious career for you baseball fans. Arguably one of the greatest pitchers of all time. And all the sabermetric stuff. I don't get into the data as the next pitch is fouled right over our heads and just plops away. All the sabermetric stuff, there's people who are trying to argue that Nolan Ryan is overrated. All I know is this. If Nolan Ryan was pitching on a Saturday afternoon game of the week, you were glued to the TV set. And no one threw as hard as that man did. No one had the command that man did, especially after he went to the California Angels and tossed 4 no-hitters in the mid 1970s, and the Ryan Express, as we knew of it, as he was throwing those 100-mile-an-hour fastballs, and as his pitch just kind of dribbled to third base, and the kid is booking a nice play by the third baseman to get his man over there, and that will be the first out of the inning. But Nolan Ryan, he was such an electric person to watch on television. We never missed his games. And certainly, if you remember in September of 1981, I believe it was, late September, when at the time we used to watch baseball instead of watching all the college football, Nolan Ryan threw a no-hitter versus the Houston Astros. That was one side. That ball is hit and hits foul territory, but bounces in. Here comes the throw across the diamond, and he didn't run. That was the problem there. Kid thought that the ball was foul, but if a ball starts in foul territory and it rolls in fair territory, it's fair. And he was standing in the batter's box by the time the third baseman received the ball, and he was easily thrown out for the second out of the inning. But Nolan Ryan threw that no-hitter against the I'm having a hard time remembering who that was. But Nolan Ryan threw that fifth no-hitter. And then they told the story that in Houston, the owner and Nolan Ryan had some issues with each other. Didn't want it was let me go back to that. Nolan Ryan threw that no-hitter against the Los Angeles Dodgers with Davey Lopes and Garvey and all that group. But which was a spectacular ball game at the time. And Terry Poole, the right fielder, made this spectacular running catch, closing down the gap to make a nice play on a line drive out there, preserving the no-hitter. It was really the key play of the ball game. And Nolan Ryan got his fifth no-hitter. Then, of course, when many people had thought Nolan Ryan was finished, and the Houston Astros also thought that Nolan Ryan was finished and really starting to wear down a little bit at the tender age of 41. He signed with the Texas Rangers, and as many of us recall back then, and improbably, Nolan Ryan threw 2 more no-hitters to finish up with 7 career no-hitters in a record that I believe will never be broken. And how exciting were those times back in the 1970s and 80s. And obviously one of the great players in the history of Major League Baseball, Nolan Ryan, the Ryan Express from Alvin, Texas. As the next pitch is down low, and that will be ball 4. So a walk. And this young man that's playing catcher for Ballard, he's left-handed. We have a left-handed catcher. That at times can be a rarity. My son is left-handed. He does not like to get back behind the plate anymore. Didn't like to after Little League Baseball. And we have a base hit for the Beach. A base hit for the Vikings. And that was a rocket out there to left field. So the Vikings get a base hit. And how exciting is that to see the energy that comes out of their dugout? And people are really excited and pumped up about it. And here comes the Beach, just once again supporting each other, and completely different group than is a part of their basketball programs and football programs. As next batter's going up there and jogging up to the plate. Get some really good athletes out of Rainier Beach, but these kids right here are battling, swinging the orange meta. And let me tell you something, that piece of apparatus right there, Daniel Bellis, that has a price tag to it. Those metas they do not come cheap, as in the pitch is a little bit down low. And that's the big surprise to me, is the price of equipment in high school baseball these days and in select team baseball. And my son is a part of the Fellowship of Christian Athletes select team. The next pitch comes in, and it was almost cut out. That'll be strike 1, and one kid wanted to swing at it and didn't. But the baseball bats, man, I remember you used to get one for $35-$40. You can have one of those Easton with the green label on it. And these meta and they have all sorts of special and mystical powers to them. And my son knows all about it. My son studied these bats. He's a baseball bat expert. And as this ball was hit, I don't know if my son would see that, but that ball was laced. I guess it had the spiritual, mystical power to hit a rocket out to center field. So Rainier Beach picking up a couple of hits here, and that's exciting. So elevated a couple of pitches, and we got some base hits. And here comes the next hitter, number 8, Ocho. Drew up at the plate. The kids are referring to him as Drew, so we'll call him that. Drew swinging this black baseball bat. Here comes the pitch. It's high and outside, ball 1. 1 ball to Drew. Rainier Beach with these cool uniforms. They got Rainier Beach across the front. They got a Viking on the right shoulder, the logo, but the blue uniforms have orange pinstripes on them. Oh, good swing by number 8. He gets up there and swing it. They've got these really cool pinstripes on them, and they look good. Kid's got himself all turned in. He's going to get this thing going. They want to swing a little earlier. Let's see what he does on this one. Low and outside. Skips the dirt. One of the highlights of that Nolan Ryan versus the San Diego Padres in 1980 was an inside pitch that he threw at Dave Winfield as this pitch just popped up. And Dave Winfield was, of course, in a big push for his contract here. And he took offense to Nolan Ryan tossing a couple of 100-mile-an-hour fastballs under his nose. So he said that he went out there to talk to Nolan Ryan. And let me tell you something. They didn't do a lot of talking. And as the player said, they're like two big bulls that were not going to back down. They had a very, very interesting conversation where they exchanged more than verbal messages. I mean, Dave Winfield and Nolan Ryan were throwing some punches at each other, and before the teams got in, as baseball fights usually do, they morph into this big what it's kind of like a mosh. They moshed into each other, and people were trying to break it down, but it was very, very interesting. As Dave Winfield recounted that later, he said, "I was committed." Then he compared it to Robin Ventura. The next pitcher, that was the next time that Nolan Ryan got into a fight. It's like about 14 years later with Rockin' Robin Ventura, who at that time, Rockin' Robin was playing for the Chicago White Sox. And Nolan Ryan went inside and creased him with the legs. This pitch is a hit to the second baseman, and the second baseman for Ballard gets up off the ground and snares that line drive. I'll come off the bat of that meta, and the Rainier Beach threat is extinguished. But I've got to give credit to the Beach kids for sticking with it, and I got to give credit to the Ballard kids, the kids who come in and play in the reserve role. They're taking the game serious as well, and they want to show their coach they can play and just into that inning. So at the end of the third inning, it is Ballard 25, Rainier Beach 0 on your community radio station, Rainier Avenue Radio.world. You are listening to Juan Cotto. Juan Cotto touching bases with you. And yes, I am bundled up doing the play-by-play here at the corner of Rainier Avenue and Alaska. Can't think of the other street back there, but I'll get it. Nevertheless, Rainier Avenue, Alaska is Rainier Playfield, the Olmsted Legacy Park, surrounded by beautiful trees. If you are into the trees here in the city of Seattle, you would love it here because it is a palace. And we are watching Dallas Avalava get up on the mound and throw some pitches to the Ballard Beavers, who were up 25-0 after the end of the third inning. We're going to go to the top of the fourth and see if we can get this game moving right along. And looks like Ballard's got control of it, but we are both impressed. Daniel Bellis and I, who is here with me, who is our producer, who is our color commentator, who is our general manager, who is our key grip, who is our best guy, who is our award-winning host of Fresh Juice. He is here with us as we're watching Rainier Beach and Ballard battle, and the Rainier Beach kids aren't giving up.
Yes, sir. I mean, what else do you say?
Yeah, it's what you get, exactly.
I'm kind of curious on what this mercy rule is, though. I'm getting really cold right now.
One of the things we don't have. There we go. One of the things we don't have on Rainier Avenue Radio is a one of those things. Here we go. Just as you can see on television, I am readjusting my equipment. I am readjusting my equipment here on Rainier Avenue Radio on this delightful day. It has turned, Daniel, it has turned almost to, I mean, you know, in the summertime, when you go from summer and fall and football season, you'll get some days that are kind of cool and hot. Especially last October. But we had a beautiful day Monday and Tuesday. Boy, we had Tuesday was absolutely gorgeous. Starting to turn into spring here in the Seattle area for those that live here and for those that have family and friends here. And then today is one of those days where we're kind of slowly struggling into spring, and it is a little chilly out here. And in a 25-0 game, you just feel a little bit like, hey, we gotta see if the Beach Vikings will come through for us and make a couple plays and start to get us out here. But I love the attitude of the umpire. He's been outstanding today, and he's keeping these kids motivated and busy in this. And here comes Mr. Coulter Good. I have stopped keeping the score. Coulter Good, at the beginning of the game, he had a double and had a single and actually walked. I don't know what the rest of his at-bats are. As Mr. Dallas Avalava throws the first pitch outside for ball one. Swinging the Category 9 Marucci. And also, for those in the know, that also is a very, very expensive piece of metal. But one again, my son says has special mystical powers. That is the red, white, and blue version. And Clemente has one of those. And when you hit it, he says it feels really, really good as Colton Good takes a swing at a pitch that Dallas had a little bit of a slider effect on it, bouncing the dirt, but Colton Good took a hack at it. Here comes the Alaska Airlines plane flying over the west. It looks like, if you're here, that plane is just almost over the park, as the next pitch is just a little bit inside for ball three. That plane looks like it is right over the park. Instead, it is about 2.5 miles off, if I'm not mistaken, and heading out to SeaTac Airport, and we'll land there shortly. And just for I'm going to check the flight 24-hour flight radar, which is very, very interesting. And flight tracker, it'll give me the height of those planes. I think that's around 3,000 feet, if I'm not mistaken. I think that is around 3,000 feet when those planes go over us like that. For those that like to follow that information, I'm sure a lot of you don't, but I'm mesmerized by stuff like that when planes fly over. And of course, those that do know in the Seattle area, you fly over an airport, oddly enough. You fly over an airport at SeaTac. That plane actually was coming in from Burbank as Avalava gets the third strike, and that will be the first out of the inning. Ballard 25, Rainier Beach nothing. Here comes the windup and the pitch. And like I was telling my son, Avalava is throwing the ball. He just has a little bit of a hesitation. He's just got to follow. And those are things that Matt Fields knows. And I'm sitting here and want to talk to you. He knows that. And this is a plane. This is an Alaska Airlines 737 that's coming in from San Diego, California. Boy, I tell you, if you boarded that plane in San Diego and you're getting off when you get off, you're going to feel the difference. As the ball goes down to third base, and it is just out of the reach of the third baseman, hit his glove. He's sitting there looking like, oh, I could have got that. That was a tough play for you, big fella. Pull your head up and keep yourself positive. Another one will be coming here shortly. And that plane is currently at the altitude, the calibrated altitude of 725 feet. Of course, it is further down the line from us now, heading towards SeaTac Airport, almost about to land. So those planes are coming in at that flight level. The next one is a flight that's coming in from Denver. So SeaTac is getting their afternoon rush of aircraft. We're seeing them all go by here on your community radio station, Rainier Avenue Radio.world. As the next pitch comes in for a strike. Avalava, big, powerfully built young man. He's always been like that. Real well-built young guy, going to be playing football at Idaho as the next pitch comes in for strike two. And this really does show what kind of athlete this young man is. And if you haven't seen him, he can run a little bit. He does little bit of everything. When planes that we're seeing him, Daniel, they are at 1,100 feet to 1,000 feet when they are passing by us heading down to SeaTac. Next pitch is inside. Did that skim his uniform? It did not. Avalava right now probably just a little bit tired. If he just follows through, he can get the ball in the strike zone. And that's always a challenge as you're trying to throw a strike. Grips it, raises the leg, throws a little bit overhand. That got him on the hip. And if I was an aggressive athlete, I might have gotten out of the way of that pitch. He went ahead and just let it hit him, and that will put runners on first base and second base. Since we were last here in the pandemic, some apartment complexes have finished up, or condos. The Rainier Avenue area is changing, ladies and gentlemen. If you grew up here, it's a lot different than it was. A single goes up the middle. The center fielder bobbles it, but Ballard graciously playing station-to-station baseball right now to keep the score at 25-0 in the top of the fourth. They go pick it up, retrieve the ball, and throw it in. The lights of the tennis court, and this is where we are in daylight savings time, so we are in daylight time. But even so, the lights at the tennis court are actually very bright back there. They're probably providing light as we have a couple of dark clouds coming in. What time is it right now? Nice hustle back there, catch. It is 5:16 Pacific time, so we're 2 hours into this. Actually, we're an hour and 45 minutes into this, I should say. Avalava peers in, left leg up, throws, and kind of fires that ball up there a little bit outside. As planes, like I said, are coming in at 1,000 feet. That is a prop plane that looks like it would normally land at Boeing Field. Looks like it's heading over to a SeaTac. Who knows? Maybe carrying some dignitaries, and going to land over at that airport instead of Boeing Field. 25 for Ballard, Rainier Beach, nothing. but nothing more than learning experience for the Vikings. Avalava, the leg kick, the throw, that was a really nice pitch. And the young man from Ballard fouls it off. How you doing today, man? Gives me a little bit of a nice to be able to talk to the hitters. Got a nice crowd of parents here. And I think that's one of the cool things about being a baseball parent. Your kid plays baseball. Come out here and sit through those cold days with them and watching these games. And hopefully when you are in the nursing home, they'll come visit you still and say, hey, remember when you used to play ball? I used to come to those games. Stop by and visited my mom today in Des Moines. She's doing real good. You know, I got her an Amazon Echo Dot. She absolutely loves it. She was listening to some, she just loves listening to Mario Lanza and Pavarotti. And there's an Ichiro hit. The ball bounces in, and the kid took a hack at it. And he drives in a run. The ball, Avalava's pitch, bounced in, and the kid hit it. And certainly you can do that. We've seen Ichiro do that in Japan, and I've never seen it actually done live at any level. And this kid just gets a base hit like that. So a good-looking swing off of a pitch that was bounced in there. A little bit darker than the cameras always make it look a little bit lighter out than it is. It is starting to get a little dark over here. I'm sure that the lights will take effect at some point. But you can see in the background that the tennis court lights are on, and it is bright back there. Ichiro Suzuki, the Hall of Fame right fielder, and he played for the Nippon Ham Fighters, I believe, and was playing. He had so many incredible at bats, and one of them was, and you've seen that pitch many times in his left-handed batting stance. The pitch was bounced up, and he hit that pitch into, I believe, right field. And just again, just a master batsman that Ichiro Suzuki was. Certainly will be a Hall of Famer in, I believe, 2 more years. As that pitch is cued off the end of the bat, and like you're playing pool, that ball just dribbled at about 4 miles an hour to the second baseman. There's just no way you can make a play when the runner is running faster than the ball. So that makes a score Ballard 27, Rainier Beach nothing. And in football, 27-0 is a tough game. In baseball, it's a really tough game. As Avalava stares in, he gets signals, lifts the leg up, and here comes the pitch high over the head of the batter in the right-handed batter's box. I believe there's going to be a visit to Ezel's after the game, and I believe that there's going to be some chicken strips and some ranch dressing consumed on the ride home. That's the way I feel. As a base hit goes into left field, and the left fielder misses the ball, and that ball goes all the way out there. And, yeah, thank you, Doug. Thank you, Doug Montgomery. He holds that runner at third base, and that will make the score, I believe, 28-0. But at this point, no one really cares. They're just going up and they're taking their at bats, and I think all of us are looking forward to the potential of going to our homes and throwing a log on the fire and watching some of the NCAA tournament. As the next pitch is fired behind the hitter's head. Avalava struggling a little bit with his control, but I don't think that they are going to struggle very much with Avalava at the University of Idaho. I think they're going to go out there and really like the athlete that they're getting and the student that they're getting as well. Real nice young man. Dallas lifts the leg, slow windup in the pitch. Comes in, nice catch by the catcher back there, catching that pitch off the dirt. Of course, if the young man at third base right now, if he was to play, he probably would have hit that pitch. And Matt Fields goes out to talk to his current pitcher, Dallas Avalava. Had an opportunity to watch a couple of the spring training games, and one of the things that I find interesting with all the rule changes in Major League Baseball is the fact that the pitch clock is speeding up the game, but all you have to do is come to a high school game. Thank you, Daniel. You come to a high school game, you see that the kids have almost like an automatic pitch clock. They don't wait in high school baseball. They just throw the ball up, and the games are shorter. And I know Daniel's starting to feel a little bit. I'm feeling a little bit. And it looks like Matt Fields is bringing in the center fielder to throw. So they're going to relieve Avalava here. And Daniel, I know if Sarah Cotto is listening, we would love to have some rescue coffee or something hot if you brought it out here. And if you do that, we will be ever grateful for you. So hopefully that message gets heard by Mrs. Sarah Cotto, who lives down in Leshai, a mere, I don't know, 4 miles from here. And maybe she will bring something to her husband. Maybe she won't. Clemente, if you want to get in your bike, well, I know that's not going to happen. So anyways, here comes the young man who was out in center field. And he looks like he is a 6th grader up on that hill. That's why he's wearing the number 6. Not the tallest guy in the world, but watch, I bet he brings some heat too. Coach Matt Fields is having the time of his life, a big smile on his face. Once again, need I say it, but I'm going to say it anyways. It's so great to have guys who have played the game of baseball, working with our kids. And certainly right now, after the pandemic, our community needs us now more than ever. So I'm so glad to hear that Matt is taking over the Rainier Beach baseball program. And the kid's throwing the ball over the plate, and that's all he needs to do. Just throw strikes and see if these guys will hit it to somebody. And that's the beautiful thing about the game of baseball. But with the rules changes that I had mentioned, the rules changes in baseball, the pitch clock, I think, has been the one that's had the most impact, because these games are getting done at the major league level. Games that usually take 3 hours and 15 minutes. These games are taking 2 hours and 17. I've seen several games get done before 2 hours and 30 minutes. I think the average time right now is 2 hours and 35 minutes, 2 hours and 40 minutes. So you're going to see a faster baseball game. And at times where you want to take your family out at night and go watch a game, the game's going to get done and you can get them home, as opposed to some of the 3 hour, 3.5 hour, 4 hour contests that were going on to play 9 innings of baseball. That's just too long. So the pitch clock has been an effective thing. Another thing that's been really effective, how you doing, man? Still back there, huh? He's doing it. Thank you. We are going to see the shift. I personally don't think the shift is going to mean as much, and they've already come up with ways to defeat the shift. They're playing the outfielders over, and they move the right field down in behind the second baseman, so they're going to have to probably discuss that. As the ball goes off the shortstop's foot in the left field, once again, Ballard playing station-to-station baseball right now. They stop the runner at third base, and that will end that there, and that is makes it a lot for Ballard, 29 actually, and Rainier Beach nothing. But right now, this is just trying to get through the ball game. As our little man who is pitching, he throws, and he's got a nice action to his arm. Thank you. Yes, pitch inside, caught the inside corner, and the young man from Ballard is going to get in there, and he's going to swing that bat. Yes, sir. As this young guy is throwing that ball up there. Oh, outside a little bit. Ball one. 1 ball, 1 strike. Here we are across the street from a variety of different businesses, and Rainier Valley is still interesting. This is the major artery. Martin Luther King Way is about as the ball is hit to the shortstop. Will he step on the bag? Yes, he dropped it. Bumbled it. Oh, he just flipped it back to the second baseman. So we have an out, but a run to score. And in this celebration of baseball, the Ballard Beavers get another run, making the score. I believe it's going to be. Is that 30-0, Daniel? It is. Showing bunt. Yeah, I do. Oh, nice. I do like Coulter Good. Coulter Good is something else. Coulter, swing the bat. Swing the bat, Coulter. Come on, baby. Coulter Good. I do like this young man, and he's having a lot of fun today. He's playing a little baseball, enjoying himself. I think it was the next pitch. Fouls that one off. Coulter looking to bunt the ball. Got a big smile on his face. The coach told him to knock that smile off his face. Hey, Coulter's having a good time. As you know, he's pitched a real nice game today, and he's come out here and he's getting his swings in. Puts that one down. Oh, fouls it off for strike 3. So that will be Was that the third out? That is third out of the inning. So he got that thing down there, and coach told him to bunt. I appreciate Doug Montgomery doing that. Actually, hurry up, speed this game up just a little bit. So Ballard takes their 30-0 lead at the top of the fourth inning. It is Ballard 30. It is the Rainier Beach Vikings 0, and Dallas Avalava and company and go get their bats, and they'll start loosening up, see if they can go ahead and get something going here. Juan Cotto and Daniel Bellis here as another Alaska Airlines plane goes by us. That plane is actually over the Jefferson Park driving range right now, and I was looking at that. Those planes, we can see them. The Jefferson Park driving range is up the hill from us. And I really interesting. I was comparing Jefferson Park to Chambers Bay. Chambers Bay is one of the biggest properties I've ever been on. Chambers Bay extends all the way from where Beacon Avenue is all the way down to Martin Luther King Way. Those who went to the 2015 U.S. Open, where we were not allowed to sit anywhere, we could actually see the golf tournament. I have some wonderful pictures of that event with my son, Clemente, who was a little 7 3/4 at the time, getting ready to turn 8. And he and his dad drug him to the golf course where we got to see some golf. And Jordan Spieth was the winner of the tournament, a dramatic battle with Dustin Johnson. And many remember the putt that Dustin Johnson missed at the 18th hole. He was on in 2 and ended up 3-putting there, missed a short putt. For PGA standards. I mean, it's sitting there with an opportunity to win the U.S. Open. There's no such thing as a short putt, I might say, as the pitch comes in and is swung on and missed. And but I was always marveling at how big that property was, and certainly it is a big property. As it looks like a little bit of moisture is starting to hit our direction as I see the plane flying overhead. And it's going through kind of a misty vapor, and that usually means precipitation coming. So hopefully we can get through this before the rains come. So again, I personally thought it was going to rain today, and it did not. Here comes the next pitch from Colton. Colton's throwing a little bit of a slider. He's a crafty young guy up there. Ballard, once again, they are in their black jerseys. They've got red numbers trimmed in white. They've got Ballard across the front in red and trimmed in white. And they're kind of wearing those hats as the pitch comes in, and young man's got an axe bat and swung right through that pitch. Big smile on Colton's face. They've got the snapback. Looks like they've kind of got those hats that you usually see kids out there wearing on the farm with the white panel in the front and then the black panel around the hat. Dallas Avalava coming up. Here comes a pitch to Dallas. Pitch is on the outside part of the plate. Dallas swinging that axe bat. He's got that bat is must feel like a toothpick to him. This is a strong young man. Oh, he takes a big cut at it. Strike one. 1 ball, 1 strike to Big D. Daniel Bellis in the background shivering. And I don't blame him. I put on the Seahawks coat. I've got 3 layers of long stuff on. I couldn't find my 32 degrees Costco long johns. I'm going to be looking for them tonight. Got to have that stuff in there if you're going to watch baseball in the spring here in Seattle. My legs are feeling this cold bench. Probably should have brought my padding to sit on. It's a little chilly right now, but Daniel's got this table set up for us. We're feeling good. I probably should have brought the space heater, Daniel. Here comes a pitch up over the head. Colton is Coulter Good is just kind of playing with these guys. Here comes the next pitch from Coulter. It's a little up, and that was a walk. And Coulter has lost a little bit of the strike zone. I know he's frustrated with that. Didn't want to walk Avalava, but couldn't get him to swing at any of those pitches outside the strike zone. Here comes Rainier Beach's number 20, and he has to go out there, and he's going to – I just love seeing these kids out here and just battling, and you can take a select baseball, and this is the way it always has been. This kids out here having a good time, taking their cuts, and this is what you see at Rainier Beach as the first pitch comes floating in for a strike. Next pitch is swung on and missed. That'll be strike number 2. Long day for the Vikings, but a productive day. They certainly have gotten their guys out there. They've gotten a hit. They loaded the bases. As this next pitch just fouled off, and it's going to be short of the cars. Yes, it will. You got to pop one up at a severe angle to get that ball over there to the cars. But I've seen them hit, and I did not park over there. Leg lift to throw from Colton, and that's strike 3. So 2 down for the Vikings. So no, that was 2 outs. You got to go hit, bro. It's 2 down. You got to go hit, bro. You got to go up there and hit. Here comes Rainier Beach's little number 2, and he's played a variety of different positions. Gets on the left-hand side of the batter's box. Sorry, we don't know the names, but we will get those names for you next time. Leg lift in the pitch, and that's a ground ball to the first baseman. Steps up. That little man is fast. He beats him to the bag. And look at the Rainier Beach kids. Look at the Rainier Beach kids. They are going nuts. You'd think this was the Bad News Bears. Where is Walter Matthau? At this time, we need Walter Matthau out there as the kids just got a single, and that was nice. So here comes the next guy, and he I'm really a big fan of these Rainier Beach uniforms, by the way. I like the blue tops. I like the orange across. That's such a great color. Eastside Catholic also has that color, and they've got about 57 different types of uniforms. And I'm glad that these kids are doing that at Rainier Beach, playing a little baseball. So here we go. Here comes the pitch from Coulter. It's a little bit elevated, but it's a strike. Nice job by the catcher framing that pitch. Maria Espinova, let's see, heard you on the radio day. Sounded good. Hope you're well. Probably referring to the interview that they heard on Como radio today, talking about the blood situation. And I was, as the next pitch is swung on and missed by Rainier Beach's number 6. Once again, he actually came out and pitched a little bit today, too. Here comes the pitch. A little bit outside. Oh, calls it strike 3. That was a pitch. That is the ball game. So that is it. So the mercy rule ends at 4. It is Rainier Beach and Ballard 30, Rainier Beach nothing. 30 love, as we say in tennis. And that's what we do. We're going to come shake hands. Coach Fields brings his team out. Thank you, Blue. Thank you very much. And once again, like we said, the tennis lights are really bright over there. So Ballard came out, and they were ready to compete today. Rainier Beach, Matt Fields put his program together, and he's lighthearted about it, and he should be. So the kids will come out, and they'll shake it up. Very nice. Nothing to feel ashamed of whatsoever, and I hope they don't. And I'm going to see if I can grab Dallas Avalava real quick, maybe speak to him through the fence, and see if Dallas will come over and have a word with me. Coached him at football a couple of years ago, and had a chance. Dallas! Real quick. Got Dallas Avalava, and I want to chat with him. Dallas Avalava, Coach Cotto, how you doing, man? Good to see you. How are you? Where are you going next year? You're going a little Idaho? Playing a little football over there? Are you excited about it? What position do they have you playing? They're going to play you defensive. When I first met you and I saw you and your speed and quickness on the defensive line, I said I knew we had a player, and I'm excited to see what you do at Idaho. Tell us about Idaho and what they're going to have you doing, and tell us about how excited you are to represent Rainier Beach in our community over there.
I'm very excited.
I know you are.
Going to college is a dream for me, so if God can let that happen, University of Idaho is a great school, great coaches, great recruitment. They just stuck with me and stayed loyal, and that's why I chose them.
Have you seen the game of the KB Dome yet?
Oh, yeah.
They get fired up over there, don't
Absolutely.
they? Yes, man, congratulations. I'm so proud of you, and I'm just looking forward to following your career over there. And if I've been over there a couple times, hopefully I can go over and see you play.
Absolutely.
Leave a ticket for me at the gate.
Will do, sir.
Dallas, congratulations, man. Thank you. Dallas Avalava of the Rainier Beach Vikings, and just a wonderful young man. He's going to be he's going to do us real proud over there in Idaho at the University of Idaho, and playing for Coach Petrino and that team over there. So, Daniel, no need for me to go over a long thing of statistics. It was Ballard 30, Rainier Beach nothing, and we are closing off this deal. So, on to scheduled programming, and we're going to go get some food. We'll talk to you later on your community radio station, Rainier Avenue Radio.world.